Happiness is felt more deeply in the face of unhappiness. Hey, I'm Nivi and I hope you're doing good. Back in 2019, August 2019, I traveled to Meghalaya and I just fell in love with that place. Such a beautiful and serene place. What I really liked about the place is the way they have preserved the nature, flora, or environment. There is development as an infrastructure development, but not at the stake of destroying the environment. So here are a few pictures that I'm sharing with you guys, which I clicked while I was in Meghalaya. It's just so clean, unpolluted area with so much of fresh air, less of deforestation. I really loved this place. Be it Molinong, which is the cleanest village in Asia, you just get so much of freshness while you're there in that place. Or Kong Tong, which is also called as a whistling village, where people communicate through whistles. There's no loud noise there. What a great way of reducing noise pollution, right? There are a lot more locations in Meghalaya which I want to speak about, especially one place which I really loved, my favorite place in Meghalaya. But I'll speak about it in the course of me letting you guys know three books that have been set in Meghalaya. These books are not travelogue books. They're not going to let you guys know where to travel in Meghalaya, but they will let you travel to Meghalaya through stories. They're all fictional stories which will let you travel to Meghalaya. Alright, so let's start with the first book in my list. The first book in my list is Shillong Times by Nilanjan Chowdhury, A Story of Friendship and Fear. This book is about a young boy named Debojit Datta whose parents are Bengalis while he was born and brought up in Meghalaya. One day, a few localites, Khasi tribal people, abuses and attacks him because he's being considered as a non-tribal person because his parents are Bengalis. Now, this is just a beginning because later in 1980s, there are a lot of riots that occur in Meghalaya between the tribals and the immigrants. A lot of immigrants, like for example Debojit and his father, love the land Meghalaya as much as a Khasi person does. But still, the Khasi localites basically consider the immigrants as Dikar, that is the Khasi word for non-tribals. I don't know if I've pronounced the word right. But yes, they consider them as foreigners and hence they don't want them to settle in Meghalaya and get the equal rights as much as a Khasi localite gets. Debojit meets a guy named Clint and a girl named Audrey. Both of them belong to Meghalaya and a very deep friendship builds between these three people. But situation is so bad that they cannot even meet each other because of the riots occurring back then. This book is very simple, beautifully narrated by Nilanjan, equally enjoyable by children and adults. It explores the history as well as the politics of Meghalaya, especially Shillong. But at the same time, it also explores the beauty of the place. I got to revisit a lot of places in Meghalaya in the course of reading this book. For example, Police Bazaar, which plays a very significant role in this book. The Sacred Forest in Morphlang. The book explains clearly the history of the place, like why people are not supposed to bring anything from outside and then put it in that particular forest. You're not even supposed to pluck a leaf from the forest and then, take it outside of that particular forest. So the reason everything is being explained in this book so well. I am assuring you that you will be able to travel to Shillong, Meghalaya by reading this book. So go ahead and pick this book if you want to know more about Shillong. With that, let's go to the second book in my list. The second book in my list is Will You Still Love Me by Ravinder Singh. This is a love story between a guy from Punjab named Rashveer and a girl from Meghalaya named Lavanya. They meet by destiny, but then they decide to take forward their life together. This book has a very predictable climax because the narration is in such a way that you'll get to understand what the climax would be, but that doesn't matter because it's the whole of the book that gives you a decent read. I loved the chapters wherein Ravinder has clearly depicted the beauty of Meghalaya. I was telling you guys, right, that there is one particular place which I really loved, my favorite place in Meghalaya, and that is Double Root Bridge. So in this book as well, Ravinder has clearly been able to bring out the beauty of that place. I mean, it's just not Double Root Bridge, but the route through which you need to travel down in order to reach the Double Root Bridge, that's been explained so well. And guys, I'm telling you, you should all travel down to this place at least once in your lifetime. It's just an experience. I mean, that route, not just the Double Root Bridge, as I said, even the places you need to basically walk through in order to reach Double Root Bridge is just so awesome. Crossing the bridges, it's just like the places that I have seen in movie that I was living while I was there. Ravinder has been able to bring out the beauty of Meghalaya, Cherrapunji, Non-Grayat, Double Root Bridge so well in this book, and I would definitely recommend you guys to read this book. Also, if possible, probably after the COVID entire situation, go ahead and travel down to Meghalaya. It's such a beautiful place, especially Double Root Bridge. Do not miss it. If you want to know more about this book, Will You Still Love Me, you can go ahead and check this video right up there. I'll also share the link in the description box. Basically, I had made a video about Ravinder Singh's book, so wherein I have also mentioned about this book. Alright, with that, let's go to the third and final book in this list. The last book in my list for today is Anjum Hassan's Lunatic in My Head. This book is mainly about three characters: Firdaus Ansari, Aman Mundi, and Sophie Das. These three characters have three stories to tell, out of which I liked Firdaus' character's story the most. So Firdaus is a spinster who suffers from OCD, and she has her own daily life battles to face. Now, Aman's character, he is a guy who is obsessed with Pink Floyd along with a lot of other friends of his. While Sophie Das is a young 8-year-old girl who keeps cooking up stories in her head, and she keeps telling it to everyone that she is adopted while she is actually not. The characters in this book are so real that you get to live with the people in the Meghalaya in the course of reading this book. The book doesn't explore much of the scenic beauty of Meghalaya, but then you get to experience the culture and you get to stay with the people of Meghalaya while reading this book. So I would definitely recommend you to pick this book up in order to transport you to Meghalaya. So these are the books I recommend you guys to read in order to transport yourself to Meghalaya. Let me know through the comment section books related to which place or set in which place do you guys want me to speak about or recommend in the upcoming videos. So until we meet next time, this is Navya signing off. Keep reading a lot of books, travel through reading books, and enjoy. Bye, take care.